Well, this is a flight that we're going to try out here. It is put together by A Pilot's Life version 2. So what we're doing today is we're flying from La Paz all the way up to Panama. It's going to be about a 4-hour, little bit flight. This airport, it's a little bit crazy. We are up at over 13,000 feet. That's the level that this airport's at. So they need a runway that's well over 13,000 feet long. Now, they made a suggestion, they being A Pilot's Life, they made a suggestion to have us fly the beautiful A330-900 series. This is the 900X. Painted in the lovely Delta livery. It is a gorgeous airplane. I also have to give a shout out to whoever put up the GSX profile for this. GSX is the program that we use to create all the ground equipment. This is nice because the gate actually connected to the correct door. They often connect to the L1 door. It's what we call it at the airline that I work at. And that's not right, because you don't want all the people walking through your first class section into the rest of the aircraft. So you separate it up by getting them to go to the L2 door. So they set it up correctly. I didn't have to adjust that or change that. I often do. So this airport, fairly small, probably would never ever have an A330. I did check online to see who typically has flown this kind of a flight. It's often private planes that are flying these flights between these two cities, and Avianca does it as well, but they connect through Bogota and a few other cities that they connected through. Nobody really does it direct, but we are going to do it direct. So without further ado, I had the ground cart pulled up. It's connected, and we'll get ready to start refueling the aircraft and getting boarded up. I did start this once before. I have the lovely CH Pro rudder pedals from eons ago, and unfortunately those pedals tend to sometimes crash out, and then I can't restart it. If you guys have a fix for that kind of a thing, go ahead and put it in the comments below. But right now, I don't have a fix for it yet, so I literally have to turn the entire damn computer off and restart the whole thing again just to make it work. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and set this aircraft up real quick here. So first thing we're going to do is zoom around here real quick. Hope you don't get dizzy. And we're going to set things up here. Parking brake is on. Weather radar is off. And the predictive wind shear is off. Spoilers are down, and the flaps are up. Engine mode selector is set to normal, and the engine masters are both off. Thrust levelers are set down to idle, and the transponder mode is set to standby. And transponder mode is set to standby. Anti-skid is on, and the landing gear is down. And the wipers are off and off. Fantastic. Okay, so let's power this baby up. Look at the batteries on here. Batteries are on. We do know the external power is on. I'm going to make a note here as well. So I do have some good study level 330 planes. This is an A320 overhead panel. If I'm wrong, go ahead and correct me in the comments below. But I had seen an A330 panel, and things are a little bit different on a 330 panel. Very good. External power is on. Normally there would be an external power A and B, but we don't got those on this plane. The APU fire test, let's check that real quick. APU fire test is good. Nav lights need to be on. It's not dark enough for us to turn them both on. I don't think this plane even has that an option that I can do that, so it's just nav lights on, and the strobe lights are set to auto. We are going to hold off on the APU because it takes a bit of time to get everything else set up, and then we'll get going on that. Other things that it's missing on this, okay, so we got the powered on, cockpit prep. Crew supply is going to be on, that's our oxygen, and this one also has a ground control recorder, but the real one I don't believe had that fun stuff on there. The ADR, whoops, let's go back up here. I changed some settings. I have a different camera app now, so forgive me if I get a little sloppy on a few things. So very good. That is your GPS system up and running. We're going to get the no smoking signs are on, and the seatbelt sign, that's seatbelt sign, here's the no smoking, and emergency lights are now armed. We're going to do engine 1 and 2 fire test. 1 and 2. Very good. Now comes the fun part about programming all of our stuff into the FMS. Or the McDo. Very good. Here we are. Got that all set up here. Let's clear this out. And initial. We'll do an initial request. I have the SimBrief stuff all programmed into there. Now we'll request our information. Uplink, insert in progress. There she be. Got the flight number. Got our alternate, that's correct. And we got our lovely information to and from. IRS has still got another 3 minutes to go yet, and we'll quickly get our wind information kicked in here. There we are. Alright, our next step is going to be putting in our initial fuel prediction information. So I need my 0 fuel weight, which if you do a SimBrief, then you'll get all that fun stuff on your lovely system. So one thing I got to check here, get that SimBrief data one more time here. There we go. Now my flight information is correct. I got passenger load is 385, cargo 16940, and 0 fuel weight 368.151. So that's going to translate as 368.1 into here. Okay, 368.3. I like that number better. Decimal 3 slash. We saw what we had for our weight balance over here. The planned center of gravity is 23.72. 23.7. Click that up into there. We also know that our takeoff fuel is going to be 55.8. That's really light for this aircraft. It's just a tiny little short flight for 330. Very good, we have that. And momentarily the fuel predictions will all pop up. Here we are. Okay, so now we go over to the flight plan. In this case, we're going to talk to La Paz information. It's a 127.1, and then we will get our flight release from them. Just make sure that went over. 127.1.
Delta Echo Delta Golf Quebec, we are established on the visual runway 28 approach.
La Paz information, this is Delta 227 with you. We are just requesting our flight clearance to Panama.
Delta 227, cleared to Telcuman via the USR 1 Charlie departure, then as filed. Departure runway 10. Initial climb to flight level 160. Departure on 119.5, squawk 2411.
Clear to Taco Men via the USAR 1 Charlie departure, then as filed, departure runway 10, initial climb to flight level 160, departure on 119.5, squawk 2411, Delta 227. Alright, so we got some information there.
7, read back correct.
Okay, so we know some more information here. We're taking off on runway 10 back to the McDo. So we're going to hit this over here, departure, and 10, and we are on the USAR 1C, 1 Charlie, and Laco is our connect via. Insert that bad boy, and I can look on our. I'm taking a look here real quick at my flight release again, and I can see that the airport that we're heading off to, this one over here, we're going to set the arrival, and it's going to be on ILS 03R, 03 right, and I do have a star, so ISCO 2 is what we're going to be doing, and I don't have any vias for that bad boy, but there is, I believe, a transition of ISCO. Well, let's see if that works. So we're just going to do that. Insert. Done. I believe it'll just be the flight plan. Okay, I'm just going to check for any discontinuities. Discontinuities just means basically that the system can't figure out how to connect the two things, and you just have to get rid of it. Very good. There we are. Once it turns blue, those are if we do a missed approach. Click flight plan one more time. We're back on this page. Alright, I'm going to quickly do the performance section here. I did download, you can Google it, there's an Airbus performance calculator that you can get, and I went ahead and got that.
Passengers boarding starting.
I'm just going to plug that information into here. These are the numbers I was given, and they don't seem right at all, but it will get me off the ground. 135 is for V1. 146 is our V2, our VR rather. And then we have 146 as our
Fuel
V2.
truck is in position.
Transition altitude is
Please don't
18,000
load
feet.
aircraft until the fuel truck arrives.
Thrust
and ask to
reduction
begin.
is a little off there. We're going to do 14114/14114 and plug that into there. And it's always the same on this system for the engine out ACC. Our flex temp is 29 degrees Celsius, and our flaps are going to be flaps 2, and our trim will be up 5.7. Toss that into there. Next thing we got to worry about is we've already obtained our ATC clearance, so the next step is our transponder. That has already been set. Set that to auto and make sure that this is on standby. And then our altimeter, we need to set that as well. I have checked the airport weather here, and the altimeter is 1035. Set that on all of these. That's just telling me that they aren't matching. Now we'll go away as soon as we have this set up. There we go, 10357. Alright, so now we're just waiting for the luggage to get loaded. As you can see, it is being loaded there right now. We've got 170 people out of 385. They are boarded already. There's a bit of a glitch on that jetway. You will notice there is actually people walking in between. Oh, now the glitch went away. It'll probably come back right away. It's kind of cool. With the GSX, you can actually see your luggage getting put into the aircraft. It works at the right speed. I've done that kind of work before, and everything looks very much like the real thing. So the boarding is happening, and we'll be on our way shortly. So now is basically the time when we order a coffee from our flight attendants, and we sit and talk about absolutely nothing, and how much we dislike our crew scheduling department. Just jokes. We love our crew schedulers. I would never want their job, but we love them. Alright, so we are done boarding now. Bags are loaded. Boarding is complete. Just because that time is here now, we're going to go ahead and turn on our APU.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, on behalf of myself, your captain, the
3,
first officer, and cabin
4,
crew, I'd like to take this time to welcome
5.
you aboard our flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here and waiting to receive final numbers from the ground crew, then we'll be on our way. Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard.
No, it's available. APU bleeds on. Okay, so now let's get ready to start going over here. La Paz ground, this is Delta 227 at gate 5, and we are requesting permission for pushback and startup clearance. Copy, pushback and startup approved, face west, Delta 227. Okay, so we got our clearance. Alright, our ground power has been disconnected. Doors are closed. Close up this flight deck door. Doors are closed. Windows are closed and locked. APU is on, and the masters are on as well. The APU bleed is on. Seatbelt signs are now on. There we go. Seatbelt signs are now on. Fuel pumps are on. And thrust levels are still set at idle. Fuel quantity is checked. 55760 pounds of fuel. That is correct. Thrust takeoff data has been checked, and that's our VR speeds are good. About 5.7 flex temp. Takeoff information is correct. Beacon light needs to be turned on, and we'll get that turned on here. And our engine mode selector will set to ignition. Here the APU bleeds shut down. And parking brake is set. Transponder mode is set to auto. And external power has been removed. And we are good now to start our pushback. Here comes the guy with the steering disconnect pin.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Walker 3689, ready to copy. Cleared to Santiago via the USAR 1 Charlie departure, then is filed. Departure runway 10. Initial climb is 16,000 feet. Departure on 119.5. Squawking 3223, Walker 3689. Walker 3689, read that correct.
Bypass pin incentive.
Auto QNH, Speedbet Tango Fox 7 Heavy.
Alright, we're going to get ready for pushback here. We're going to release parking brakes. Let's release.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at wing.
227.
Alright.
Ground.
Starting engine number 2.
Request to push and start. Go to 27. And then.
Leipzig 61 Charlie request IFR clearance to Rio de Janeiro. Alright, 776 ready to pick up our
We've got all the pressure.
clearance to Gobernador Horacio Guzman International Airport. Place with you to the other Genka 1 Charlie departure file.
Delta 329 push and start approved. Face northwest.
Delta 329.
Alright, engine number 2 stable. Starting engine number 1.
Start.
Reset.
Way will be 28.
Waiting Your confirmation for a good engine start.
4154, Star 1729. Time 1908, pushback and start approved. Face southwest.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Alright, let's do our after start checklist. Parking brake is set, engine mode selector set it to normal. Very good. APU bleeds can be turned off as well as the APU. APU is turned off. Spoilers need to be armed. We do that by pulling this up. And the flaps set to flaps 2. Flaps 2. Watching it to go. Good. Auto brake is set to max. Pitch trim. Up. 5.7. 5.7. This number right here. There we go. Rudder trim set to 0. We are. Anti-ice is not necessary. Fight. La Paz ground. This is Delta 227 requesting taxi to runway 10.
Delta 227, runway 10, taxi via Bravo Alpha.
Taxi via Bravo Alpha, Delta 227. Alright, so everything is looking so far so good. We're going to taxi up to the runway and we'll stop and we'll do our pre-takeoff checklist. Here we go. Enjoy these throttle sounds. This engine sounds beautiful. Bumpy taxiway based on what I'm seeing.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Very good. And so weather radar is on. Predictive wind shear is auto. Terrain on ND. We'll switch that on because it is terrainy around here. Switch that over to ARC. And engine mode selector as required. Cabin crew has been advised. Let's get our takeoff clearance. Switch over to tower. 118.3. La Paz Tower, this is Delta 227 holding short runway 10 requesting departure clearance.
Delta 227 heavy, runway 10, winds 110 at 9 are cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, Delta 227 heavy. Jeepers, I've been forgetting the heavy call part of the call sign. I've been doing it very, very often. Excellent, so we're going to taxi over to the end of the runway there. Anti-ice is not required on this one. Packs are on right now. Strobe light is, we'll turn that on there at the end of the runway once we
November
swing
3
around.
Mike Papa, welcome to La Paz. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Gonna get ready for our takeoff now. Packs are on, strobe lights are on, nose wheels set to take off, and the landing lights are now on. Transponder mode is set to TARA and cam no. Good. And start the chronometer.
1,500.
La Paz Center on 127.1. Delta 227. Delta 227 with you at flight level 230, climbing to flight level 340. Alright, now we're just climbing up to flight level 330. La Paz is absolutely stunning. Super high up lake there. Unbelievable. The scenery is just something else. And nothing looks better than a Delta 330, in my opinion. Well, maybe the 350 runway. So now we can start our slow and steady climb up to flight level 330. Descend via the Osoko 2 into
Hyper 5 Alpha Tango, contact Panama approach on 126.1.
126.187, 5 Alpha Tango. Go ahead and start a descent here shortly.
Panama approach on 133.85, Europa 055 Paris.
Austrian 75. Skyhawk 3 Alpha Zulu, say again. Heavy, roger. Europa 056 Heavy, climb and maintain flight level 360. Amerijet 1012, contact Panama approach on 119 or decimal 7.
Wheels hum on the tarmac, sunburns gold on the glass. Maps folded in my jacket.
Echo Golf Papa, contact Bogota Center on 123.85.
Gas stamped onto my pass. Clouds stack like white mountains. Wingtips slice in the blue. Islands flicker beneath us. All the roads leading to you. Chasing the line where the oceans meet, head in the wind, hard driving over the Gulf and the crowded streets. names glow over the bayfront. Harbor cranes standing like kings. Trade winds sing in the cabin. Cabin lights tracing my rings. Borderlines turn to rivers, curving soft in the haze. Every turn of the turbine pulls me out of my old ways. Panama sky, I'm rising, chasing the line where the oceans meet. Head in the wind, hard driving over the Gulf in the crowded streets. Runway to light, I'm climbing, following trails where the jet stream shine. Panama sky, I'm flying straight to the place where your hand meets mine. Seatbelt sign flickers off, city glows just ahead. I leave my fear in the dark, let the horizon be red by the fire on the isthmus, by the ships waiting below. Every engine is a promise, every promise says go. Panama sky, I'm rising, chasing the line where the oceans meet. Head in the wind, hard driving over the Gulf and the crowded streets. Runway to light, I'm climbing, following trails where the jet stream shine. Panama sky, I'm flying straight to the place where your hand meets mine.
Good day.
As well, spoilers are
Departure for King Air 2 Alpha Tango. Good day.
spoilers are armed. Let's go to flaps.
Runway 3
Tiny
right, clear to
stars
land.
in the
Delta
street.
227 Heavy.
2,500.
Clouds like ice,
Last 7.
fading
Box
in
42.
the sky.
Departure. Box 642.
Hands steady on the heading, breathe slow, and my heart climbs.
2,000.
You can feel the world below us, pulling
Departure
us in,
KLM 758.
pulling us in.
All the aircraft information X-ray is now current. QNH 1008.
We're coming down, down, down to the waterline. Steel wings tracing silver on the morning tide. Through the blue, through the burn in my tired eyes. Final approach to sunrise. Final approach to sunrise. Oh yeah. Edges home like a promise. City waking far away. Every mile of quiet thunder. Guiding me home. Guiding me home.
Bravo, climbing to 300
We're coming down, down, down to the waterline. Steel wings tracing silver on the morning tide. Through the blue, through the burn in my tired eyes. Final approach to sunrise. Every time, every tilt of this lifeline brings your face.
300. 300.
100 above.
300. 300.
We're coming down, down, down to the waterline. Steel wings tracing silver on the morning tide. Through the blue, through the burning, my tired eyes. Final approach to sunrise.
80. 70.
Final approach to sunrise.
70. 60. 40. 30. 20. Liftoff. Liftoff.
Closing short, 0-0.
Victor Golf. Contact departure on 119.7. I'll have your clearance in just a second.
That was a little messier than I wanted it.
Avianca 69er, contact departure.
Contact departure, Avianca 69.
Tacoma Tower, stop 156, ready for departure. Delta 227, welcome to Tokyo. Contact ground on 121.9.
Switching to ground on 12. Celtics ground, Delta 227. Good evening, cleared of runway. Ready to taxi to the gate.
Delta 227, document ground, taxi to Terminal 1, Gate 09W via Lima, Golf, Juliet. Good day.
Phenom 2 Mike Echo, contact tower on 118.1.
Terminal 1, Gate 09er Whiskey via Lima, Golf, Juliet. Delta 227.
With Romeo requesting IFR clearance as filed. Cleared to David Airport after departure, radar vectors to TUM, then is filed, depart runway 3 left, initial climb and maintain 7000, departure on 11. Code 788, ready for push and start.
Coma 788, it's ready for push and start.
Pushback and start approved, code 788.
Coma 382, contact tower on 118.1.
Ground, good morning, Beacon, Kilo Gold Bravo, request start engine.
Disregard. I'm not asking for a departure clearance.
Parrot 3 Bravo, contact tower on 118.
Switching to tower, Baron 3 Bravo, Quebec.
Overnight 176, standby.
Copy 237, contact tower on 118.1.
118, okay, 63, standby.
Coma 427, runway 3 right taxi via Sierra 2, Lima.
Runway 3 right taxi via Sierra 2, Lima, Coma 427. American 1012, contact tower on 118.1. 118.1, American 1012. Ground is getting that 245, request IFR TMS for the gates on my left.
Give me 1 second for that clearance. KLM 757, contact tower on 118.1 for departure clearance.
Taxi to Terminal 1271 with the VI Tango Lima Sierra 1.
And 544 ready to taxi.
Bonanza 544, runway 3 left taxi via Echo Hotel.
Runway 3 left taxi via Echo Hotel Bonanza 544.
Uniform and request engine startup at Park 60.
Alright, so that's the end of the flight. I would say that that was a pretty crappy landing. One of my least favorite ones. But here we are in Panama. Looks like there's a couple of Copa planes that are parked behind us there that are waiting to get all set up on their gates. So it was a beautiful flight. The plane worked properly, I think. I just didn't do a very good job of landing that one. I probably should have gone around and tried for that one more time. But at the time, I was short on time and I needed to get it on the ground. A little bit of get-home-itis that I had. But there's another lovely flight that's coming up here very soon. And so basically, I do these A Pilot's Life Chapter 2 flights. And the next one that's coming up, it looks like we're going to be flying from Doha to the Maldives. And so that should be pretty interesting. They got us on an A319. And so that should be a fairly interesting flight. Stay tuned for that one. It will be coming up here pretty soon. I'll probably do a little less of the setting up and all that fun stuff. Unless you guys like that, just let me know in the comments. And but I'll try to speed it up a little bit so we don't have a 40-minute flight like this one. Excellent. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell so you know when the new one's coming out. I'm going to be opening up a new page altogether exclusively for flying. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.